Welcome to NDTV Auto. I have a very special guest with me today, Avik Chattopadhyay. Avik has been a brand consultant with various automobile companies. He was earlier with Maruti, Volkswagen, and has also been a consultant with an Anglo-Saxon company as well. And now he's in the process of setting up India's first dedicated automobile design college. So we will talk more about it. And Avik, first of all, congratulations on this process of starting India's first specifically focusing on automobile design college, a design school,
Yes.
completely focused on automobiles.
Right.
What is the thought behind it?
Okay, the thought, it's more an outside-in approach that I had. So I had this urge to give back to the industry, okay, because it's a significant part of who I am today is because of the industry, right? And in the process, if I can actually build something for the nation, awesome. Which means I have to create an institution, okay? Now, what do I create the institution for? What does it do? So during my years in the industry and then having maintained my connect with the industry and having lots of friends more on the engineering and the R&D and the design side, the one area where I saw a gap in the Indian automobile industry is the area of design. Okay. Today we are pretty world class when it comes to manufacturing, supply chain, logistics, service. Okay. When I were to look at hardcore areas like production engineering, okay, vehicle integration, we are world class. We are truly, truly world class. Okay. The one area where we need to be world class is design. Mm-hmm. Because I strongly believe that manufacturing only gets you revenues. Design gets you valuation. Okay. Why Apple is what is Apple today is because of the design, not because it is assembled in China or India or Puerto Rico or Burkina Faso. That doesn't matter at all. What matters is designed in California. Okay. It's that design ethos. And this design is not just the physical design, it's also the, let's say, the software design, the interface design. So it's the experiential design that Apple has created, which is why it is valued where it is valued today. So for the Indian automobile industry, for the industry to be valued as a truly, truly world-class industry, we have to work on design. Mm-hmm. Okay. We haven't worked on design all these years, not for any other reason. It's just that the industry was evolving.
But I mean, we have had Indian companies' product, and they have had some good design. So why do you say that?
Absolutely. So what you're saying is absolutely right. Here, let me take an example of cricket, okay, which is our biggest religion possibly. There was an India in 1983 that won the World Cup. Okay. The team didn't actually know it was going to win the World Cup. But there was some supreme individual talents that won the World Cup. Okay. So it's a team made of individually supremely talented people. Now that was also a cricket team which won the World Cup. We've had a cricket team which has won this World Cup, the last World Cup. The last World Cup was won by 15 supremely talented players. Okay. And if you were to have 3 World Cups happening concurrently, India would have supplied 3 teams with a very, very high probability of all 3 teams winning the World Cups. That is what I need to create, which is I need to create a pipeline of design talent.
How much of this talent is needed by Indian automobile industry? Even today, as we speak, cars are getting designed, they're coming out in the market. So what is the demand for such a project?
As I said, this entire thing and the planning has been an outside in. So when you talk to a key designer or design head in any automotive company, he or she would tell you that I take these fresh graduates out of the design schools. Then we need to actually spend a good 18 to 24 months in making them come to speed with what is the actual hardware and the software and the thinking in design. Okay. Now we as professionals, do we spend our time training them, which we need to, or do we spend our time on our projects? Because we are not too many. We're just a few. I mean, a Maruti also being the largest car manufacturer would have what? 300, 350 designers, not more than that. Because and the automobile there's interiors, there is exteriors, there's a lot going in for the four-wheeler. Okay, not so much for the two-wheeler, but for the four-wheeler and for commercial vehicles, there's a lot going, right? So we know we need to train these guys. Okay, otherwise they are not productive from day one.
So you mean to say that there are design schools in the country already. So those design students need to be retrained, almost spend another session, almost another semester, more than semester, another course almost, because 24 months is another course almost.
So it's
to enter automobile design industry.
So no, they can still enter, which they are doing now.
Enter, no, as in become proficient at it.
Exactly. So to be proficient, this is like when I did my graduation in economics, I did not become an economist. Yeah. Okay, I would have had to go to a Delhi school or a JNU or possibly go out and do my master's and my PhD to be accepted that, okay, you have the wherewithal to be an economist. It's the same with the graduates in design. They're all graduates in design, okay, but they're not, so you need a master's course. So the school is only a master's course in design.
Okay.
This is not a graduate course in design. Okay. So this is typically, like the European concept of the finishing schools that we have, either in couture or in cuisine. So this is like a finishing school in design, which selects just 25 students every year. Oh. Okay. From the large pool of graduates.
Design graduates. And finishes them into highly productive, design professionals from day one. That is the purpose of the school. Okay, very specific.
It's very, very specific.
And masters.
So I am not in competition with an NID. I am actually complementary to an NID. Okay, I am not in competition with IIT Mumbai IDC.
Okay, now from here on, how many job opportunities will come about in automobile design? Because, the world is changing fast. We are getting globalized and yet becoming a little bit more restricted. So what is the job opportunity there?
See, every year, the Indian automobile industry, just for the studios here, whether you are an automaker, or whether you are a studio that does work for the automakers, they end up taking around 250 to 300 students every year. Okay. What we are going to give them is 25 students, let's say fully prepared. Right. So the Indian automobile industry would continue to need that infusion of at least 150, 200 students every year. Okay, given the scale of the work, the nature of the work, given the fact that, for example, over the last 5 years, now we are talking about SDV. Does that mean the physical part goes away? No. Yeah. Because you need to do the clay model. Okay? Because at the end of the day, a leading designer who's now part of the school, he told me, Avik, there's something very interesting. Come to think of it. You're designing 3D vehicles, which you see on a 2D screen. Okay. So SDV helps, SDV works, but not completely in isolation. So you would have to create a clay model, may not be a 1:1, but a scale to at least see what those proportions actually look like. Right? So jobs are becoming complex. Okay. The curriculum or the skill sets are rapidly changing. And that is what the school would bring. when you and I were doing graduation, any college has some 15, 16, 20 courses in graduation. Okay. Now, is the college equally good in all those courses? No. Different colleges are famous for certain subjects, right? This is going to be only dedicated to automobile design.
Okay. Now, you mentioned SDV, but what about AI and its impact on design? Don't you think
AI would definitely help.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely help. It's already helping. Okay. And what's happening is, the more you use generative AI, your inputs just keep getting better. Right? But you must always remember, the input the AI gives you today is of what it knew just 1 minute back. It doesn't read your mind. Okay, you may create something very different 1 minute hence. That becomes part of AI because AI captures it. Right? So if you really want to create path-breaking design, if you really want to create design that people sit back and say, oh wow. Okay, or they say, this is so quintessentially Indian. I love it. Okay. AI wouldn't know it, but AI would know it after you've done it. So AI is basically to help you clear out your initial thinking, right? And also to tell you what all has been done.
Yeah.
Okay. AI is not able to predict what is going to happen tomorrow. There will be machines which will predict that. Okay. And possibly at the end, there will be a time when machines will take over men. Right? And H.G. Wells would finally be celebrating. Okay. But till then, AI has to be used as a tool. So it's like a zaria, as we say, to help you design better.
Yeah. Okay, now I want to ask you, last few years, lots of startups have started from India. Indian companies have launched many products. What do you think is happening in Indian automobile designing? And what are those companies that are standing out for you that, okay, these guys are doing good work?
To me, the ones that are actually trying to take a stand and be visually different and experientially different, they are the ones who are winning, and they are the ones who will keep winning. Okay. Now, so if I were to take, there are lots of people doing great work, but if I were to take Ather as an example, okay, Ather, to me, it's a wonderful example of what a startup can be in the automotive space. Okay, a great example. I would even take an example of a brand like Altigreen, okay, or Euler. They are doing deep work. The depth in what you do is really going to hold you in good stead. Because the depth does not lie only in the depth of skill, but the depth of adaptability. Okay, design tomorrow and life tomorrow is actually going to be about agile design, agile thinking. Okay, so I need to have the depth to be agile in my thinking. Right? I need to have the capability of debunking my own emotional baggage to create something new. And that's what these startups are doing. Okay, then I'll take the example of Mahindra. Right? Now, the 6 and the 9, does everybody love them? Maybe, I'm sure Pratap and Ajay wants everybody to love them. But I'm sure some of them don't love the 6 and the 9, but you cannot deny or ignore the 6 and the 9.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what is so important.
They're radical.
You're radical. You're taking a stand. So Mahindra is doing some great work. Okay. And they're really standing up for what the Indian automobile industry can be. Maruti, look at the way Maruti has its own nice, sweet pace of doing things, and that to me is very important, not just because it's my alma mater, okay, but I love the way it thinks. It never thinks in jerks. Okay, it's always thinking on a very, very smooth,
linear line.
Smooth line. A very smooth line. And you thinking it's a linear line, it's not a linear line. If you see it 35,000 feet from now, it's actually a curve. They're going through the curve, right? But they will not make the people around them think it's a curve. You will end up thinking it's linear, right? To me, it's the wonderful mixture of, let's say, the Indian culture and the Japanese culture. Okay? Linear thinking is typically Occidental, which is a yes or a no.
Yeah.
The Oriental thinking is always the scope for something called maybe, right? So Oriental thinking is circular thinking. Life is in a circle, right? Society is in a circle. Everything is circular, right? That's how we think. And that's how Maruti thinks, okay? So the kind of stuff that they're doing now, okay, that you see, they are not revolutionary, but they're evolutionary, because Maruti basically says, my larger job is to continue democratizing mobility in the country. Okay? That's a job that I took upon. I took upon that responsibility in 1981 when I was created, when I was formed. Okay? I have to continue doing that. Yeah, my promises can keep changing, but my purpose remains the same, which is to democratize mobility. Therefore, for Maruti, you're always catering to 80% of the market.
Yeah.
And 80% of the market is never revolutionary in thinking. It's always evolutionary in thinking. So somebody has to do work for that market.
Yeah. Which is not very radical.
It's not very radical. Exactly. So you'll come out with something like the 𝗱𝗲𝘃𝗃𝗁. You'll come out with something like the Grand Vitara. You'll do the 𝗱𝗲𝘃𝗃𝗁.
And they're never the first to launch a body style.
You cannot. As a market leader, it's both your responsibility and your burden.
Yeah.
Okay? You see Toyota. Is Toyota always the first? It is not. Okay? But there's a large part of the world which waits for Toyota's version of that body style.
Yeah.
Or Toyota's version of that technology, which is exactly the same as Maruti's role in India.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are still around 50% of the country that says, I'm going to wait for Maruti's version of an electric vehicle. Okay, or Maruti's version of an SUV. Now, it may not be the most radical looking, like the Brezza. It's not radical. But are most of us radical? We are not.
Now, one last question from you about the design school. By when can we expect it to actually, you to start the whole process?
Well, the first batch, as per our plan, should join in May of 2026. Okay, so still a year from now. Now, I just hope to raise all the money by that, inshallah. Quite frankly.
So
raising money is so difficult. Okay, everybody tells you it's a great idea, but get the money from somewhere else.
Why? Is it because it's is it a return problem, a return on investment problem, or is it an idea problem, or is it an availability of funds problem? What is the biggest problem?
Availability of funds is never a problem, because the funds I'm asking for gets into possibly 4 points after decimal, or even more than that. Okay, for the industry. It's not about the idea, because everybody says it's a great idea and we must do it, right? It's all a question of, will I take that call? Okay. It's not a question of what's in it for me, because here we are a not-for-profit school, because it's XLRI.
Okay.
So it's not for profit. So you'll be giving it as a donation. Okay. There are no returns.
That's the
thing. Okay. There's always this thing of, let someone else do it and then I will follow. That to me possibly also sums up a certain part of the mindset of the industry. Let someone else do the disruption, I will follow. Let someone else try the new technology, I will follow. Let someone else try something new in retail, I will follow. Yeah. Then let someone else give battery as a service, I will follow.
So you actually need radicals, revolutionaries to back you up.
You need people who actually believe in my conviction, okay, to come up and say, okay, Avik, and you know, mind you, I am financially invested in the project. Okay, so I'm walking the talk. And all I'm telling them is, give me the same money. Whatever I'm putting in, give me the same. Okay, even that is becoming a bit of an issue. There are a few, very few, who've actually shown very, very active, deep interest in the project. Therefore, I'm still hopeful that we will have the first batch joining in the May of 2026.
Because, because it is a donation, because it's an educational institute and it's a XLRI, that's maybe a big problem there. Because if it was a investment, I'm sure it would have been easier for you.
I don't know. I think because it's XLRI, it should have been easier.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's because we have CSR funds, should have been easier. Right? And also because the money that I'm asking for from each is not much at all. Should have been very easy. I guess I just need to be a bit more patient.
Yeah.
Right? I need to keep knocking the same doors again and again and again and again. And then there's one door has to open. Okay, then I hope the others see the belief that organization has in our conviction.
So as we stand today, will the batch start in May of 2026?
Yes, right now I am working towards that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But you will, to sustain it for a longer term, you'll need some more support.
Oh yes, I mean even to start it in 2026, I would need support.
Okay.
You see, because what we're doing is, and as I explained, if this is going to be a finishing school, so what we're building is we're actually building a real world studio. So this is a fully functional studio that is being built with capabilities of doing 1:1 clay modeling and capabilities of creating working prototypes. So outside of a few automakers also, this will end up being India's most advanced design studio for automobile design. Okay, and that needs money.
Yeah.
I'm not doing classroom teaching. Okay, XLRI has enough classrooms. I could have just taken one classroom, only 25 students. And this is not classroom teaching. This is getting some of the best practitioners of design from across the world to come and invest their time with the students in the studio, making them work on the latest hardware and software, and also understand the concept of design management so that when they go out, they are truly productive from day one. Okay. That needs money. Okay. But I'm still hopeful that I'll start in May 2026.
All right, Avik, thank you so much and best of luck. I hope you get all the support that you need and we have a truly Indian automobile design institute soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time and your patience.
No, I had a fun chat with you. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you very much.